All right. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Hey, first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all Joachim out there who pushing his word with our truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe on the gospel. And it's a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp, and the brother Korah Abad. And as always, we got the beloved Elder Tazapah as well.
Shalom.
Khan. And the Wadi Bashim El Shai once again, for blessing us, as we got to always say, with another opportunity, to come forth and bring forth this information, this news or prophecy, which is saying in Revelation 19:10 that the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai was the spirit, or should I say, is the spirit of prophecy. When Yahweh Shai came on the scene, he focused on the things that was to take place. And so that's why he sent us, starting with our apostles, bishops, and elders, to tell these people in these times, in Babylon the Great and amongst the people of the world, what's to take place at the end of the world, man. And we're in some exciting times. The Lord, doing a lot in the earth, whether it's by the hand of Esau, or whether it's the Lord doing things himself. But for this one, it's kind of like a various topics lesson. But it is focused on the plague sent upon America. Just like how I said, 2nd Esdras 15, Lord willing, we get that. But once the Lord take us from this captivity, he said he was going to judge their last great city and bring plagues upon Egypt as before. And this is some of the things we see. And look, the Lord probably didn't even start yet with the real plagues. This is like the prelims,
Yep.
The Lord, we coming into a time like never before. These are events people witness, but he taking a step further now. There's a lot of things happening, like this article right here, and we'll get to it here later on, Lord willing. But it says, prepare for an unprecedented summer with extreme temperatures, 131 mile per hour winds, record tornadoes, and severe drought. All type of different weather patterns. Remember, and you brought it up right before we started, the digital system. As all this going on, they're still building for that digital system, man. But Elder Tazapah, you had anything?
Yeah, that's right. I'll bring out right quick. This is Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
That's right.
So it's another deliverance coming for the children of Israel. And it's right around the corner for us. But that was it. We got a greater deliverance to look forward to than what we had even coming out of ancient Egypt. And it's going to be that much more glorious, to the point where the Lord said, it's going to no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt.
That's right.
Because this one is going to be that much more glorious. Although we're not going to forget Egypt, it's just this one and the destruction it's going to bring to the entire world is going to overshadow it. That's what the Lord is saying. But you got it.
Yeah, and it's cold too, because it's gonna be the new thing. Like, say when we get in the kingdom, our children, and Lord willing, we're part of the elect, but our children, other nations they heard about Egypt, the first Egypt before Moses. They heard about, they go, understand those works, but they go want to see, man, what happened in Babylon the Great, do it, Jacob's trouble. That's gonna be the new writings. They're gonna be excited to hear those new things too. On top of, man, what the new miracles the Lord done, the things that wasn't written that we finally witnessed and seen that happen in the earth. Again, in a time like never before, it's about to be so much that happened that's in the scriptures and that's not even in the scriptures. So we're gonna be shocked about some event. we're
Yep.
gonna be caught off guard. You know, I'm not saying like, you know, losing faith as the people in the world, but for example, like in Revelation 10, when John the Baptist was when a chariot came down, not John the Baptist, John the Revelator, and the chariot came down, and he started writing what he was seeing, and the angel told him, "Don't write it." Right? What that was that he didn't write. You know, what's some of the prophecies that's gonna happen that Esdras ain't get everything down? He just, you know, gave us, you know, a couple of chapters. So we gonna even be caught off guard. I want to read this real quick. This is Sirach 25:7. It says, "There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and a 10th I will utter with my tongue." It says, "A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy." And we living in that time to where we about to witness the Heavenly Father take down our last enemy, the last heathen ruler, really of the world ever. This is the time of the Gentiles about to finally be over. Our last chapter about to be taken out, and before this, the Lord gonna show us some things in the earth, man. Some things in the earth. But we'll start with this one if you ain't had nothing else at the Tazapah.
Yeah, you good, brother. Go ahead.
Khan and Shalom Tala Akim, you know, Akwath that's tuning in, Yahweh Shema Shah Barakatham.
Go
But real quick, to start off with this one, I seen the Apostle Aram Lab. He kind of briefly mentioned it on his lesson, I believe, yesterday. But from End Time Headlines, it says Texas police officer warns street preachers they face citation if someone is offended at a rainbow flag pride rally. Right now, this was just at a rally, and it's not nothing put into law, you know, as far as on the books yet. But this just to show the gradualism of the famine of the word. Again, we supposed to be in America, right? Freedom of speech and, you know, rights and all that. Now, these men were supposedly just out there, got the video. They were just out there preaching. They said, look, if y'all hurt anybody's feelings, we got to write y'all a ticket.
Pretty loud. So we
No,
can use it
but
up
that
to
that
80
ordinance
decibels.
means like music, not
And she probably mad because she want to, you know, she one of those of that community.
talking. If someone is offended by your talking, then we have a problem.
That
with what I
is a
just said.
constitutional violation of our rights. If you shut us down for the
No,
content
if
of our
they
speech-
are offended
I don't
by
care
your
if they're offended.
speech, okay, then I'll write you this ticket and we'll go from there.
Wait, you're going to take us for offensive speech?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you?
Boom. You see that? Again, so how fast can they change the laws? And this is two little, and this might be set up, but these two little Christian pastors and Jesus believers out there with the cross, you know. But how much more could they actually pass these things in the law as society falls? You know. But and that was in Fort Worth as well, Fort Worth, Texas, during a Pride parade. You know, and you know what shows too? You got it.
No, you go ahead, bro.
Now, real quick, I was about to say, you know what shows that they gonna forget about and not care about laws no more? 2 Esdras 15, when it says the legitimate government. You know, they ain't gonna care about the legitimate government or people's rights no more. But you got as a counsel like it.
No, I ain't had nothing. I was just saying that it shows that this place is set for destruction.
Mm-hmm.
When you know, you got law enforcement taking up for degeneracy, public degeneracy. And they want to criminalize those that are pointing out said degeneracy. This place is done. You know, when you begin to protect and give rights to the perverted and the degenerate, then this place is done. You know, and you gonna outlaw or make it an offense of reading the scripture, or just bringing out what thus said the Lord in the scripture. All right, right. We automatically see where this is going. at the core of all these the legislation and all the shit that they passed to strip rights, we're at the targets of that. Majority of the legislation, if not all right, they use it to get at the children of Israel. All right, and that's where that's going. You know, now here it is. You got people can you know, they're allowed to engage in lewd, obnoxious behavior out in the open, out in the public. And if you speak out against it, you the one that's the problem. Yeah, well, I mean, this is why this place is getting ready to be, totally obliterated and become that lake of fire. But go ahead, brother.
I got a quick one to back you up because you said that's a sign that this place is going to be destroyed when you start protecting the wicked. Real quick, this second
Right.
Ezra 2 in verse second Ezra 2 and 8, it says, "Woe be unto thee, Ashur, which America take ways from all these ancient kingdoms," man. That's why it's spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. But it says, "Woe be unto thee, Ashur, thou that hidest," right? It says hide. Now, real quick, I typed in hide. Now, this is the Merriam-Webster definition for hide. One of them, because you said protect, right? It says to hide, to put out of sight, to conceal for shelter or protection, right? And it says shield. So protecting somebody is the same thing as hiding them. Now, this is exactly what you said. It says, 2 Ezra 2 and 8, "Woe be unto thee, Ashur, thou that hidest," or protect, right? Hide is the unrighteous in thee. Now, what type of unrighteous? What type of unrighteous are they protecting? Is breaking the law is unrighteousness. It's many different unrighteous things that could be done, but which one is talking about is going to tell us after we continue. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Ashur, thou that hidest or protect the unrighteous in thee, O thou wicked people, remember what I did unto Sodom and Gomorrah." That's what it's talking about. Protecting those type of people, man. Making laws for those type of people. It says, "Whose land," talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, "whose land lieth in clouds of pitch and heaps of ashes," here it is, "even so also will I do unto them that hear of me not, saith the Lord Almighty," or the Almighty Lord. That's the same thing. You got it.
Oh, you got it, brother.
That's the same thing gonna happen to America. It's gonna get hit with fire. It's following the way to Sodom and Gomorrah. The Lord gave them an ensample or example on what not to do, and Esau said, "We doing it." He said, "We doing
it." He can't help himself.
God. But that was it on that,
Yeah.
God. But speaking of that, how America is on its way to be destroyed, like it said right here, MAGA, and it ain't just MAGA, is the USA in whole. It said it's dead. Trump's empty 250th state fair is a massive flop. Now, as we know, America turning 250, in 2 more days? Or Saturday?
Yeah.
They birthday in 2 more days. 250 years of calling wreaking havoc on the earth. Why I say since after the World War II, really, but 250 years and that's a short period of time in world history. That's really short,
right? Yeah.
And as we know, as the Apostle Tahar, he'll speak on it often, but the average lifespan of a kingdom on earth is roughly 250 years, man. We right here. And everything lines up with one another. Everything lines up. The things we're supposed to be seeing at the end of America. Well, should we say Babylon the Great? The Israelites waking up, the wicked, 2 Thessalonians 2, being exposed. You got the digital system, the main prophecy left, the MOTB, that's being set up. The Lord hitting this place with plagues, people bugging out. They got juice flowing through their blood, The people ready to lose their mind, gas going up, the economy getting tougher, people losing jobs, as they say. Man, all these things, like all the prophecies are happening right at the end of the average lifespan of a kingdom,
Yep.
But you had anything else to tell us? Like, I'm getting a little excited.
No, you good, brother. Go ahead.
I'll play a little bit of this video.
All right, I think it might be time. I think it might be time to declare the mega movement of. All right, I think it might be time. I think it might be time to declare the mega movement officially dead, because this Freedom 250 State Fair on the National Mall has been an unmitigated disaster. I have not been able to stop laughing at the videos and images coming out of this event, and I'm going to share some of these with you because it really showcases just how unpopular Donald Trump is. So first, let's take a good, this is a bird's eye view. This was shared by New.
Really, if a brother want to find it, Baba Kashar, I think it's in Isaiah 19, but it says how the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. That's what the spirit of America is gone, man.
Newsweek of the event. And I mean, there's no one here. Like, okay, fine. There's a few people here. This is honestly actually one of the more populated days that I've seen. There's a few people scattered around. Okay. Look at all the goddamn empty space. If we move on, this is Dean Cain. This is a Trump supporter who I'm going to get to later because he's on stage at one point. But this is a view from atop the Ferris wheel.
My 7-year-old son, Daniel, was shot to death in his first grade classroom in Sandy Hook Elementary School.
Oh, that's crazy.
And like, this is the best image he could get. There's nobody here. So it gets even more silly. Fox News, of course, decided to have all over their shows from this state fair, which I assume at the time they thought, oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be packed. There'll be all this energy behind us as we present our garbage. Well, there's no one fucking there. All of the videos coming out have been just so sad. Here is this is on Sunday when this video took place.
You ever in your wildest dreams think you may be doing your Sunday show from a state fair on the National Mall? How great is this?
It's really something. And the weather, not the best today, but people are still coming out.
People are still coming in.
Damage control immediately.
Listen, we need rain, so we'll take it. Well, the farmers need the rain, so we're going to be okay with it.
We do need rain.
I don't know about you. I've been to many events, concerts, amusement there. They had planned to go there. They still went. He is there because this was shot at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. And there are more people in the band than there are watching. Look at this. I like how the line "you're making a fool of me" coincides with how empty the goddamn place is. This is embarrassing. And neither fans.
Well, I mean, what they expect? You know where everybody at?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, trying to fucking work. And nobody got no extra money to go to this bullshit. People got to work. The economy is trash. They lying to everybody. Like say, yeah, you deceiving me. Yeah, the government is deceiving everybody. They getting ready to pull the rug from up under this SWIFT system, you know, possibly by the end of this year. But I like old Bob White. You know, I don't know who that is, but Bob White posted in the chat, Isaiah 29:21. It says, "That make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught." You know, and the just are the Israelites. But right, this is America. You know, they make the righteous the offender. You know, they make you an offender for a word, a right word. As you speak lies and you good. But when you speak truth, you become, you know, a problem. And that in itself is a problem. But we got to get rid of these people, man. Truth needs to be restored in the earth.
Right.
But yeah, go ahead, brother.
Kind of got a couple from the comment board. Them brothers getting down. This the brother Daniela.
That's
Jim,
a lot
lift
of-
up your heads. I mean, yeah, lift up your heads and Bamalak as well. Isaiah 19:3, it says, "In the spirit of Egypt," and it's talking about America. That Revelation 11:8 Egypt. You know, Isaiah was well after Moses and Aaron. You know, it's talking about the new Egypt, that last great city. It says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof." That old spirit of America and being proud to be, you know, the song "Proud to Be an American." Nobody's singing that no more.
Yeah,
Nobody's saying that no more.
that's right.
You know, if you had one goofball out there, shaped like Peter Griffin as a woman, and she had the whole costume on, the American costume, and they interviewed her. And they said, "Yeah, you went all out." She said, "Yeah, I thought everybody was gonna dress up and be excited." And she said, "But I guess I'm the eyeball out." Well, you're right. Nobody in that spirit no more, man. Nobody in that spirit of firecrackers. I'm sure you're gonna have people still doing it, but nobody really care about this no more.
It's a
You know?
car.
Yeah, right.
It's a car gonna act a fool out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you out there.
Yeah. But no, yeah, all this shit is gone, bro. They,
Trash.
you know, that Jay-Z had a 30-year reign. He ain't got the juice. His mojo dead. All this shit, everybody tired of this shit, bro. And Esau ain't got the, because the Most High is zapping it of his. He can't make a movie right. This nigga can't make a good movie. He can't make good music no more. Ain't nobody want to participate in this shit no more. And on top of all that, everybody broke. Most of the people broke. Yeah, they ain't got no energy for this, man. Tucker Carlson talking about, you know, a third party now. The We the People party, and you know, everybody that's them trying to heal Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they see the handwriting on the wall, but they don't know how, you know, they still think it's a chance. You know, we can turn it around if we just do this. But no, the handwriting on the wall for this place is to be destroyed. But yeah, brother, you got another one on there?
Right. Yeah, LeBron a free agent again. Yeah, Isaiah 19:3.
Oh yeah. Come, brother, all that. Yeah, it's all this shit is through, bro. Like brother be saying, Babylon is through. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah, it says, "In the spirit of Egypt," Isaiah 19:3, "and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to idols and to charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to wizards." I'm gonna get this one too. The brother Yahweh, the Shalom, bro. Isaiah 24:11. It says, "There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone." That's it.
Mm-hmm. You're right. There's no mirth, man. And it shouldn't be. A land this wicked, a place this wicked, there shouldn't be no mirth here. All right. And yeah, we'll be seeing Jacob's trouble. Like you say, we just been in the preliminaries. But when the real kick in, yeah, it's gonna get rough. You know, you got people already bugging out, crashing out, breaking down, and it ain't even got real yet. You know, so yeah, this place is gonna rip apart at the seams.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the elites all what's his name? When it was fled to Argentina, the Palantir dude,
Peter Thiel.
Peter Thiel, yeah. He didn't left Dodge. He didn't fled this sinking ship. And you got a number of them that went underground. But yeah, Peter Thiel, he's somewhere in Argentina. A lot of them just going, you know, into their bunkers. But yeah, brother, go ahead.
Yeah, it's the spirit of Elder Monatazak. He just posted a video, or he live, and his title is "The World Cup Unity Cannot Save Babylon the Great." Right, that ain't gonna help it either.
Yeah, and then they ain't handling that right. They pissing people off talking about the government here, you know. But yeah, that ain't gonna help either. But that was supposed to, you know, help that North American Union of Canada, North America, and Mexico. That was supposed to help to you know, rally up the energy for that North Union, because you know they getting ready to go for this. Well, he's getting ready to try to fill his belly with this world conquest. But they can't even do that right. They can't host the World Cup right.
Right.
They fucking with the African teams and doing just all kind of prejudice, just real low level redneck dumbass shit, bro. The shit that I'm sick of, man. This low vibrational bullshit,
Trash.
you know. Yeah, those white trash, dumbass bigotry shit, man. But go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, one more, we can move on. Sirach 11:25, it says, in a day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. And in a day of affliction, there is no remembrance of prosperity. Exactly what you were saying. People ain't got no money, man. People struggling. They don't care about, a state fair, which a burger and fries
Yeah.
was like $20.
$20 for, yeah. And then it be little in the mud. It's gonna be little. Yeah.
You see? But even this, even it's falling apart. It says Trump State Fair arc is coming apart. And he was bragging on his art.
Mm.
Look, you can see the Coke. All in it. Look. Trash. It's been out there, what, a couple of days? Already
Damn.
through. There's another one. Yeah, already trash.
Already, huh?
Yeah, staple. Look, they staple paper on there. Look at staple.
Mm.
Oh, that said made in China right there. But boy, that's something, huh?
Yeah, shit. They probably do.
Yeah, well, man, that's trash. They trash. America through.
Yeah, they
America.
through.
Ain't nothing to see her anymore. This one last one. Check this out. Yeah, they was dancing on stage, and the top of the ceiling fell. Almost hit the dancers. Let me see.
Damn.
Look, check it out. It's gonna fall right here.
Oh.
Boom. Look.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's over with. But yeah, that was it on that advertiser file. You had anything else?
Yeah, and then they go from the world famous world fairs of Chicago, St. Louis, Albany. They go from that where they put these things together that look like complete ancient cities, in the span of months. Just amazing work that they did. And Esau came behind them and destroyed it all. But now they can't even they can't build simple things. I've been saying this for forever, really, but we haven't evolved. We've devolved as a people. And you see these videos where they'll ask random questions. What country is the King of England presiding over? And then they sit there and they don't know. This is your tax dollars at work here in Babylon. And people run around with these narratives thinking America is so great and this military is the best military, and they're completely disassociated from reality. There's a disconnect with what's going on in their mind and what's really going on out here in the real world. And that's a big part of the makeup here in America. People live in delusion. That's right. But go ahead.
We can move on. I'll get this one real quick. 2 Ezra 15 and verse 5, it says, "Behold, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." Now, the Lord calling out the world right now. It's so much wickedness. And, we see little things on video, on Instagram, or, whatever website. We see some crazy things and some wicked things that's happening in the world, and we mad about it. How much more the Lord that see everything?
Yep.
He don't need the Epstein files. He know what they're doing in there. Even if they redact it and then do all this and put the box over the face, the Lord know who that is behind that box. In the picture. Come on, man. But it says wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and now a great judgment have to come. Just like back then, when the Lord sent the flood, he told Noah wickedness have gone too far. And what it says that wickedness is in people's minds continuously, roughly paraphrasing. Right. But I want to jump down because after the Lord called out the world, he go pinpoint a certain place, which is America. Now I don't say America's go say Egypt. Verse 10, 2 Esdras 15 and 10, it says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. This is Revelation 11 and 8 Egypt, right? America. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, that's Yahushua, and will smite Egypt. So look, once the Lord begin to save us, and that's what we waiting on, we right there at the door. Once the Lord begin to save us, what's going to happen? And will smite Egypt with plagues as before. The show is not the same Egypt. This is another Egypt, and he going to send plagues on it at the time he going to save us out, or before and during the time he's going to save us out, as he did the ancient Egypt. And it's to show it's not the ancient Egypt. It says, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt's still here. America won't be. So as the Lord go do this, Elder Tazapah, you started the lesson off. This is the second deliverance. I'm keep thinking redemption. This is the second the water. This is the second deliverance. This is going to be the greatest deliverance of the Israelites from America, the so-called greatest kingdom that have ever been until Yahushua said is up. But before the Lord saves from this, we go send on this place, and that's what we witnessing. And we ain't even see nothing yet. This is just like the start of what the Lord gonna do. But that was it. Zaquan Salak, you got it.
Yeah. No, I ain't had nothing.
Con. And we can move on. Salak.
Yeah, go ahead.
Forgive me. We could kind of just run through these because it's certain things the Lord doing upon this place. Now you just had an earthquake in California. I believe it was let me see. The other day. I know we touched on it last week. I forget what it was. I think Redwood City. 5.6. A week ago it was a 5.6. Along, and remember you had the ones in Japan, I think a 7.2 and a 7.5.
Yep.
Now you have in Oregon a 5.5 magnitude earthquake strikes off the coast of Oregon. And this was put out June 27th. It says a 5.5 magnitude earthquake shook the region of the Oregon coast early Monday morning, sending minor tremors that were felt by a small number of residents. It says the U.S. Geology Survey confirmed the quake struck at approximately 4:35 a.m. on June 29th in west of Bandon, Oregon. Now, I just looked today and typed this in recent earthquakes. Just today, 39 earthquakes happened. 39 of them, 4.4, 2.6. In San Antonio, 3.1. The Philippines, 4.3. Stanton, Texas, 2.6. Japan, 4.7. Japan, 4.7. Philippines, 4.7. Philippines, and all these are just today. 7.2, that's the date, right? 5.3s, 4.7s in America and across the world. So is this not Yahushua prophecy? When he said it's going to be earthquakes in diverse places, this just today.
I know, just one day. That's crazy.
Man.
Yeah, putting in that work. Oh, this is that Matthew chapter 24 and verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places.
Right.
All these are the beginning of sorrows. Right. So, if that don't fulfill Matthew 24 and 7, All them earthquakes in just one day. All right. And in diverse places,
Yep.
you know, all over the globe. You know, we in the beginning of sorrows. You know, a great misery is coming, but it's a necessary misery. All right. Yeah, we gotta come out of this state of death, these chains of darkness that we've been closed in. The only way we can get out of it is to pass through the fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to come through the fire. But it's a necessary evil, right? And it is evil because it's going to be a bad time, but it's a necessary evil, you know. But that you got it out.
Kind of. And this another one, June 30th. Matter of fact, I do kind of want to read this one because that's a sign of the end. This 2 Esdras 9:1. Now Esdras asked the angel, when was the end gonna come? Like what exact day or time? And the angel told him this, 2 Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world. So it's showing the Lord is beginning to judge. We said that earlier. This is like the prelims. he just starting off his judgment. People ain't seen none yet, but that's a sign to us that we at that very time. This is a sign to the prophets and believers, man. The world don't see it like that. They just think, oh, it's another fire. Oh, it's another flood. Oh, people ain't go to the 250th just because it's Trump. No, nobody want to go. Nobody can.
Yeah, it's a little bit deeper than Trump, but he do play a part in it. But yeah, the people just fed up with this whole system. You know, yeah, like you had on the video, the MAGA base. You got the hardcore. They ain't gonna go nowhere. It don't matter what Trump do. They ain't going nowhere. But for the most part, that shit is dissolved. It don't have the strength that it had before he came into office. He came into office strong and immediately got to fulfilling the agenda of the Israelis and lost popularity. But yeah, just this whole, you know, people tired of it, man. They seeing with the thing that happened with that was Minnesota, right? God dog it. The scam with the money, them Hamites, the scam
kind of daycare deal.
The daycare and shit. Well, who them people is? I can't call them.
Yeah, them Somalians.
Somali, the what? Yeah, they seeing that the corruption that took place out over there in Minnesota. They seeing these, you know, the people being burnt out and washed out, and you know, just having their homes and livelihoods destroyed. Nothing being done about it. You know, the thing that happened with the truckers, you know, and that's coming back up. You know, up in Canada, they protesting and just had their bank accounts shut down, where they were shut out of their bank accounts. So people are seeing the corruption of this government, and that's due to that the Holy Spirit in the earth, that energy of truth, the spirit of truth that is in the earth, all right, is exposing all of this. Now, Esau, he is observant. You know, Jake won't pay attention, but Esau be paying attention. And they just fed up with it. How you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans ain't fed up with it, I don't know. You know? But yeah, that was it. You had some more on that?
No, that was it. Well, hold on that precept. Yeah, it just says verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. and that's it. And we at the end.
Hmm.
Man, I don't know what's going on with this computer. But yeah, we could want to know. Yeah, this is another thing that happened. Again, plagues is gonna be many things. It's a shelter in place issued after freight train carrying hazardous material derails in Pennsylvania. This could have been carrying shoes, clothes, material for for building, but it was hazardous materials. This would derail. So ain't no telling what pollutants in the air now, what's gonna get people sick upon them having that juice in them.
Huh.
So again, another thing the Lord did sent.
Plagues. Yeah, this place is plagued, man. You can't say America isn't plagued. And the Most High got indignation toward, well, his indignation is on this land. They done too much, man. like Snoop Dogg said, you done too much. You got it coming. He saw you got it coming, man. You done way too much. And with this heat wave, man, that's unnatural.
Yeah.
They say they got people jumping off in the river that can't even swim. People dying.
Yeah.
Not from the heat, but from trying to escape the heat. And hey, man, I can only imagine, because I thought they was going to hit us out here with a heat wave, and it's still possible. But yeah, I was thinking they was going to hit us. But yeah, this weather is. If I say it ain't natural, that ain't to say it's not the Most High, but it's not your natural weather pattern. All right, now it's all orchestrated by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, but he could be using Esau to do it. And so when you see these strange weather patterns, like these earthquakes, it's nothing for them to create an earthquake. But we at that time, man. This devil just gonna pull out all the stops. But yeah, you got it.
I'll go ahead and read this. It was put out yesterday, July 1st. End time headlines. It says, prepare for unprecedented, and that's it, a time like never before. Unprecedented meaning never done before. It says, prepare for an unprecedented summer with extreme temperatures. And that's funny because I think you said that the fire and the water, but in 2nd Ezra 7, it gives that, this imagery, how we got to go through these things in order to get to the kingdom. Though it's talking about many things, but just spiritually, likening that, it says, prepare for unprecedented summer with extreme temperatures, 131 mile per hour winds, and record tornadoes and severe droughts. The brother posted that 2nd Ezra 9. The Lord just starting on this place, man. This is I read a little bit. It says, according to a report from Michael Snyder's Substack, published on July 1st, 2026, the United States is experiencing an unprecedented start to the summer, marked by a combination of blistering heat, destructive winds, record tornado activity, and expanding drought conditions across vast regions. For example, and I'll play a quick video. Right now you have, put out yesterday as well, fast-moving wildfires continue to scorch thousands of acres across the West. There's more danger ahead. So the Lord making it hot in middle America all the way to the east, and in the West already on fire.
Yep.
It says, according to a report from CNN, dozens of wildfires are raging across multiple states in the western United States, scorching vast stretches of land, destroying homes and national forests, and prompting urgent evacuations of entire communities. It says low humidity, parched vegetation, and powerful winds have fueled the rapid spread of these blazes. Critical conditions that continue to threaten lives and property. It says red flag warnings signaling extreme fire danger from high temperatures, low humidity, strong gusts remain effective across Colorado, Utah, with additional alerts covering parts of Arizona, New Mexico, Wyoming, and Nebraska. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a water shortage in Arizona.
Mm.
You know, they having like a mini little heat wave, but you know, it's normally hot there anyway, but they dealing with a water shortage. It's chaos all throughout, and it's organized. And I forget the term, Salakia, orchestrated chaos. It's organized and orchestrated, you know. And this is by design to this is what the reset looks like, or this is what a reset looks like. All right, burning people out of house and home, or like I say, washing them out, blowing them out, and you're gonna see more of this. All right, then you have all these people misplaced. It's easier to place them in a 15-minute city,
that's right.
you know. But we've been talking about this for a few years now, going back to that shit. That must have been a couple of years ago when they had that derailing. I can't remember what that was. But they did it, they had a movie that mimicked it. I can't remember the name of that movie, but that train that derailed. You know, we've been saying this for a minute. That's my point. You know, that they want everybody homeless. They need you depending on the government. That's another thing that's coming with all of these wildfires is famine. You can't farm on burnt up soil and burnt up land. You know, so it's a poly crisis, or the setup for a poly crisis, and it's gonna come as a perfect storm when it hit. And you're gonna have to. They're forcing you to have to go to them. This old paradigm is up. All right, working for the man, getting your check or getting your direct deposit. That's done. All right, they getting ready to take you into digital lockdown. All right, they've been working over, you know, overtime to bring about this digital gulag to put everybody in digital penitentiaries, and this is what's getting ready to go down. And so when they got everybody, your home is destroyed, your business is destroyed, your family disarray, then you're easy to conquer in the sense of this digital conquest. It's a digital conquest, all right? And they need you tokenized, all right? With that being said, this is a good time to mention that coming up this weekend, they'll be tokenizing the New York Stock Exchange. All right, it's set to be signed to go into law. All right, the wheels and all of that, the gears won't start spinning till probably 2027. But the grievousness which they have prescribed will be set in law over this weekend. All right. So with that, that's everything right there. Because what ran the SWIFT? The New York Stock Exchange. All right. Lloyd's of London. That's why people don't understand why the Strait was shut down. The Lloyd's of London. the ships wasn't being insured. Ships couldn't get insurance, so they said, well, you know, we ain't gonna chance it. We just gonna hold off. You know. But that's all what drove the SWIFT. All right. That's being digitalized. through tokenization to be put on the blockchain. It's supposed to be this weekend. All right. And so that's going to accelerate this digital gulag or the digital lockdown. You're going to see things. You probably going to see some weird things or some new things. I put it that way. You probably see some new things over the next 6 months. All right. Between now and December, for them to set this in place and get it going by next year. All right. So you probably see things accelerate toward this digitalization. You understand? And it's all for them. That's Job 20, them filling their belly. All right. The final step to them doing that is to get the people tokenized. How? By way of the mark of the beast. That's how you tokenize a human. You put a microchip inside of them, and now you can catalog them inside of the digital system on blockchain. All right, it's all been laid out, for those that have been paying attention. I'm not saying nothing new. And if you haven't been paying attention, this probably sounds foreign and far-fetched. But it's a reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to be mandated. That's what I'm telling you. And when they mandate it, everything is going to accelerate. All right, because they're going to have to move quick. We see how they're moving now. But when they go into that digital, this MOTB and the chipping of the people, they're going to have to move even faster. And as Catherine Austin Fitts say, when she speaks about sealing the leaks, all right now it's to get the countries on board. And the leak was Iran, but we see Iran down with the digital too.
Mm-hmm.
They say you want to come through the straits, give us they going with the yuan. Pay us in the digital yuan. All right. And then, so the next is the people. And you can't have no leaks in the people. So it's going to have to be, it's going to get ugly with that. Because then you're talking about a lot of bloodshed and, the camps being filled. For those that either on the red list or just refuse to comply. They have to deal with them people. Those people are leaks in the system. But yeah, it's coming. So right, they're supposed to tokenize the New York Stock Exchange, their Standard & Poor's, Dow Jones, all of them, you name it. It's all set to go into law this weekend for tokenization. So you got it. I'm
gonna read this real quick. There's an article. This is from the New York Stock Exchange, ir.ice.com. It says the New York Stock Exchange, and this came out earlier this year, January 19, 2026. But it just says the New York Stock Exchange develops tokenized security platforms. But like you said, a couple months later, it's here. It's about to be put into place. But I just want to read this little part right here to show you, look, things about to change. Well, to back up what you were saying when you said things about to change, but it says for more than 2 centuries, the New York Stock Exchange has transformed the way markets operate. Like you said, this is a plan or plans that's been put into place. It said Lynn Martin, the president of the New York Stock Exchange Group. She said, "We are leading the industry toward fully on-chain solutions grounded in the unmatched protections and high regulatory standards that position us to marry trust with state-of-the-art technology, harnessing our expertise to reinvent market infrastructure is how we'll meet and shape the demands of a digital future." And she also said this. So a digital future is definitely coming. Man, where is that? It was a little excerpt from it. Here it is. This is what she also said. What a vice president said this. Prepare markets to analog to digital. It says vice president of strategic initiatives. It says supporting tokenized securities is a pivotal step in ISIS. And they talk about the ICE that's going to grab up immigrants. It says that ISIS strategy to operate on-chain market infrastructure for trading, settling, custody, and capital formation in the new era of global finance. So it's a new world order coming. It's gonna be digital. They tell you it's gonna be digital.
That's immigration ICE?
No, that's not them. That's not them.
Okay.
It says, I'm gonna look it up. No, that's not them. So like, hold on. I'm gonna go to chat. What is that support of New York Stock Exchange? It says if you're referring to ICE in connection with the New York Stock Exchange, it's on ChatGPT. Because I said, what is ICE that's a part of the New York Stock Exchange? It says it stands for Intercontinental Exchange Incorporate. It says Intercontinental Exchange, NYSE ticker is ICE. The parent company that owns and operates the New York Stock Exchange. It acquired the New York Stock Exchange in 2023. So that was the president and the vice president. Who really run the whole thing saying this.
Huh.
Yep, they said they go reinvent the market infrastructure. And when they meet, they're going to talk about shaping the demands of a digital future. And the vice president says that the strategy supporting tokenized securities is a pivotal step in the Intercontinental Exchange strategy to operate on-chain market infrastructure for trading, settlement, custody, and capital formation of the new era of global finance. So, and it says digital, and they said what? For more than 2 centuries, the NYSE has transformed the way markets operate. So they ain't gonna do it this last time for the digital one. You know? But that was pretty much it. And these two right here, we can highlight this because with the heat going up in America and people got to use the AC, and all these resources. You also have this, the U.S. power grid emergency. So like a U.S. power grid emergency declared as extreme heat wave looms over eastern states. So that's another thing. The lights may go out.
Right.
It says this another one from 2-3 days ago. Utility boss warns the U.S. faces blackouts due to power supply shortfall. So with the heat going up, people will have to use more energy. And guess what? Esau might cut the grid. Now you got a blackout on top of heat.
I know. Yep.
God. But now that was it, Zaquan.
Yeah. Okay. Play that short you had.
Oh yeah, Con. Yep. And Daniela said, was it the movie White Noise?
Yeah, White Noise. You're right. Con. Yeah, Netflix. Yeah, the water.
Water, bro. All right, Con, I'll play it.
7.2, 7.5, buildings were collapsing.
Heat wave in Europe, like what's going on?
It could be Agenda 2030, only because, again, going back to Venezuela. So Caracas had that 7.2, 7.5, buildings were collapsing. Guess what Caracas has planned for 2030?
Don't say it's smart city.
They have a smart city plan for 2030, posted by the World Economic Forum.
Oh, you can't make this shit up.
So what's interesting about this plan, though, is that they're saying they want the age range from 20 to 35 to lead this new push into the city, only because the older generation isn't going to accept a smart city. So what they're essentially saying is, being that you're either a millennial or Gen Z and later, you're going to be more susceptible and be easier integrated into a system like a smart city.
So translation, easier to indoctrinate because
Exactly. You're already there.
You're already in it.
The game predicted this. Call of Duty Ghosts in the game, where it's based in 2027, to where Caracas was in ruins and then it got rebuilt into a smart city. This is in the game, and not after they capture their leader,
And that was in the game.
and that was in the game.
Come on.
I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah, all this shit is
So
EA
tired of this
Sports.
shit, man.
Yeah.
It's in the game.
Now Jamaica, not too long ago, had their whole situation.
Wait, what happened in Jamaica?
They got decimated. I believe it was a natural disaster. It was something that happened that decimated the city.
Yeah, it was a Category 5 hurricane that was in Jamaica.
After that happened, people start pulling up certain documents. They're like, is there a smart city plan? Yeah, there is actually.
Wow.
There's a smart city plan for Jamaica. There's a smart city plan for Asheville as well. Remember Asheville? All these smart cities are popping up to where these natural disasters are happening. Same thing with Caracas. And what's interesting is that they're calling it Freedom City, which is the same name in America that Trump is trying to build. That's one of his initiatives. He wants to build cities to where
This shit don't sound free. That's what I was gonna say. It's always invert this shit. It's always
Right.
inverted. So
Yeah.
like Freedom City is opposite. Like everything's gonna be totalitarian.
Right. Who's
You know,
free?
AI. They're gonna know everything. Your face is scanned. 15-minute city. Like
I don't feel that free.
that's not free. None of it's free.
that's the thing though, because if they do offer UBI, you are essentially living for free, but now you're a product to the government.
But see, it's all in the language. Freedom City. This is freedom.
Right.
UBI. Come
Right.
check this check. Live for free. Freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the language.
It's in the language.
They're already trying to drip feed what
So-
they're rolling out.
So for those, you know, that tuned in last week, you heard us mention the earthquake in Venezuela. And I just, you know, in my conspiracy mind, I just pointed out the timing of it, you know, that it took place after the coup, where America went in and removed Maduro. And now all of a sudden you got this earthquake and they're just leveling buildings. And I said, man, they probably getting ready to build something there. And so these guys that did the research and found out they got a 15-minute city plan for as Caracas, as they say. But you also heard them mention Jamaica. All right. And so this is what's going on with these, you know, these strange weather patterns. Again, we don't have the receipts to prove that. There's a good amount of proof with what took place in the Palisades a year or so back. You know, there's a good amount of proof when you dig into that, showing that they did use a direct energy weapon to start that fire, and even maybe well, you know, maybe when you go to was it Lahaina over in Maui, you know, over there in Hawaii, the same thing. You know, and this is them following Micah 2:1. All right, and I'll read that real quick. Because again, at the end of the day, it's a worldwide, it's a global conquest. You know, real quick.
Right out.
All right. Here we go. This is Micah chapter 2. I started 1. All right, Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. All right. But that power is getting ready to be stripped from them. So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked right now. Why you see such atrocities going on worldwide. Verse 2 says, and they covet fields and take them by violence. All right. And for this method now, they don't have to be overt about it. They have silent weapons for quiet wars. And that's your directed energy weapons. That's your heart. That's your, shit, even on the level of a CERN, you know, the Large Hadron Collider. They use their technology now to wage war against the people, to where the people are unsuspecting, and so they don't fight back. But it says Micah 2:2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Right. So that was it on that. So then, you know, and when we said that last week, I had mentioned it, and I said, man, Show, it's funny the timing of this, you know. And so these guys, they be doing the research. They be coming with the receipts. And so it looks like this is what's going on, but you're gonna see more of this. And like the brother said, it don't even with just regular weather. Here in Texas, if they shut the, you know, the grid down, you'll have people die. Just regular, you know, a regular summer. But if they do anything to make it hotter, you know, yeah, people can't make it. People can't deal with the heat out here. Well, it mainly here is the humidity. But yeah, bottom line, the Lord coming back, and America is being destroyed, all right, from within and without. All right. You had anything else on that to add, brother?
No, that was it, Zaquan. You got it.
But with that, like, we pray that you all were edified. And had any more scriptures on that in the comments?
Yeah, brother's got a couple more, but you could take it out though. Well, I get this one. Isaiah 29 and 26. 2 weeks in a row, it says, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and with great noise, with storm and tempest and a flame of devouring fire." And we're witnessing that. But that was it.
Yeah, we see it. We're seeing it. Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, with that, we pray that you all were edified. To watch for tuning in. All right, we're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory again unto Yahweh. Noble honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. All right, to the next one, if the Lord willing. Hey, y'all stay up. Shalom.
Shalom. The water for tuning in. Shalom.